we're back with another cake video. Every time I have my chef apron on, you guys know we're about to get into some baking. This video I actually did 3 years ago now and 4 years ago now, which I kept thinking to myself, I did this video recently, but girl, it's been years, actually at our old house. So if you know what we're about to get into. Basically, we're turning grocery store cakes into a $1,000 wedding cake, or at least according to my brainstorming, I expect for this cake to be pretty extra. The previous 2 cake videos, ideas that I did, I want to go more out than I did those times. So we're gonna pretend tomorrow is your wedding. They canceled your wedding cake and I am here to save the day. I went last night actually and bought some grocery store cakes, which is interesting because I obviously make my own cake. So I'm like so out of touch when it comes to like cake prices. But you guys tell me all the time, like, Les, prices are crazy now for cakes. And every time I share cakes with you guys give me your input on the pricing. So fun fact, this was $25. Back in my days, girl, this was literally $15. Got 2 of these, 2 half sheets, 3 half sheets actually. And I feel like we could get to work. I really was looking for circle cakes. That way it would make the cutting easier for me. But let's get to work. So I have here my sizes already ready to go, the 6-inch, 8-inch, and 10-inch. And I'm gonna cut these out, but I'm thinking, basically the way my brain is working with math-wise right now is that the circles are not gonna fit. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to build circles out of these right here. I'm trying to think smart. But we need to scrape off all the frosting. We're gonna scrape off the white frosting and save and reuse that as much as we can. Obviously the colorful one has to go to the trash, but we're able to save, I feel like, a good amount of the white frosting. That way we can reuse it for our wedding cake. Oh my God. Okay, low-key my heart is breaking scraping off these flowers because they're like really cute. This might be my favorite grocery store cake, okay? No, another flower. Bye, I will miss you. One cake down, 4 more to go. And low-key grocery stores, they be getting shorter and shorter. This is like itty bitty tiny skinny. Okay, things are starting to get messy. 2 down. You guys, this is getting messy, okay? And the sprinkles, tip if you ever want to recreate your own wedding cake, do not get cakes that have sprinkles. So we're gonna put on some gloves and get to scraping. But low-key, we haven't saved that much frosting. I'm gonna need for all the cakes to have this much frosting. Fun fact, this one was actually from Albertsons, so they were not stingy with the buttercream. Done scraping all of our cakes, and I was able to save as much frosting as I could. That way it would not go to waste. So we got this right here. However, it is not clean white. There is some color in here, so we're gonna be using it for the filling. And I actually got myself a butter of buttercream. So we are on a mission to less than 1 day. We should have timed ourselves. Transform this cake into a wedding cake. Okay, after further analyzing and measuring and freaking out for a little bit, I realized that these cakes, I need to talk to the cake store manager right now actually, because these cakes are so short, y'all. They're playing us. I'm just kidding, but they're literally 1.5 inches tall, and I want for my cakes to be 5 to 6 inches tall. So of course, plus the filling. With all that math being said, I do have a degree in accounting, okay, ladies? We're gonna need more cakes. So freaked out, I'm opening my Walmart app and actually ordering 3, 4 more. And they should be here in the next 60 minutes. I'm gonna start with the biggest sheets. So I actually have a bunch of these because I use them for baking. So it is perfect because I can use these to measure out my circles. We are gonna be doing, like I said, a 3-tier cake. And I'm gonna start with my biggest tier because I feel like this is the scariest one, which is the 10-inch. And just put this on top and basically just cut these out until we have as many as we need. Okay, so we'll get a 10-inch from this one, and these fit. Oh, they perfectly fit. So we got 2 out of this one. this leftover cake. You guys always ask me what do I do with it. It just depends who wants to bite and nibble on it, but I never do cake pops with it, which you guys always tell me to, so I'm gonna look into that. Maybe do some cake pops. And that's how you bake a cake. These sizes, the 8-inch fits perfectly. Okay, also, I'm not mad at how spongy and moist all of these are. Taste test. I would not be mad for this to be my wedding cake. My math is mathing in my head, okay? But this piece right here, if you guys remember, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna need it. And I don't think I need another 6-inch cake, but the 8 and the 10 don't fit here anyway, so might as well just cut this up and have an extra little 6-inch because why not? This is dangerous. They're so spongy. Where is this one? I was not expecting that. Wingy, wingy, moisture. Cake frosting is going on here, and we're gonna use this for the filling. So I'm actually gonna use some raspberry with strawberry filling. So I still want for it to taste yummy, and I'm really happy with how the sponges taste. The other 2 cakes we DoorDashed are about to get here, so we're headed towards the right path. To keep the ball rolling, I want to level some of these out a little because, baby, this is looking like a hill, which I feel like because it's wedding cake, I want for them to be as even as possible. So for this one, I am gonna level it out. Let's get to frosting our cake now, our 6-inch tiers. So let's bring out the board for that. Also got this from the grocery store yesterday. I just tasted it a little and I'm not mad about it. It is the raspberry cake filling. We're gonna top this off with some fresh strawberries I just sliced up. And our 2 more grocery store cakes are here. So we're up to what, 6 grocery store cakes now? I'm just missing 1 more layer of the 8 and also the 10. However, they did not have the half sheet. We have to work with these. Okay, we had 3 8-inch and we made it to the 4th one. I like how thick this one actually is, so perfect. Just what we needed. So we're gonna add the filling, stack this one on top, and we'll have our 8-inch now. Okay, crumb coat time. Okay, we are at 6 inches tall, which is what I wanted. And to my defense, my crumb coats don't normally look this messy and unappealing, but we cut these out. It's been a process, girls. I'm gonna pop this in the fridge because our bread is really, really soft. And then we're moving on to our 3rd tier, which is the 10-inch. While I wait for my cakes to be ready, I'm gonna go on my SeatGeek app and see what events or concerts are happening around us because we've been wanting to leave the house. There's so many concerts happening right now. The Weeknd, Kendrick Lamar, Sabrina Carpenter are on tour. And if you're wondering where to grab tickets, just head over to the SeatGeek app. They put tickets from all over the web in one place to make it so easy for you to grab tickets to any live event you're trying to attend. If you're unsure if you're getting a good or a bad deal, you want to look for the green dot, which means you're getting the good deal, and stay away from the red dots. They normally mean it's not the best deal. Like always, of course, I came through for you guys and use my code LESTOMAKEUP to get $20 off your tickets at SeatGeek. Click the link in the description and use my code LESTOMAKEUP for $20 off your tickets at SeatGeek. Thank you, SeatGeek, for sponsoring this video. And actually, I think my cakes are ready. Okay, things got a little complicated for me here, ladies. So listen up, this is what we're about to do. I need another 10-inch cake, but this, my 10-inch does not fit here. So I'm going to fold this in half and basically get one full 10-inch out of the two that I have. So this is my half, and now my half fits. Half plus half equals 1. Fun fact, I always wanted to be a teacher. So that's where we're getting our 1, and that should be enough tall-wise for our 10-inch. That way now I just have the moon to cut around and remove this, opposed to having to cut twice. So a lot of math right there. Just follow along, ladies. Third and final tier is done and crumb coated. I'm gonna pop this in the fridge. That way our frosting and bread can just firm up a little bit and we can get on to our final coat. And our 6-inch is ready. This has been in the freezer for a while, and oh my god, that was so helpful. Highly recommend that. I'm gonna actually frost them using my disc, especially with how loppity loopity. Well, we have our buttercream right here, and now let's get to frosting. So if you guys have been following me for 7 years now and all of the cakes that we have done together, you guys know that I'm really new to using these what are they called? Acrylic plates to frost. And I feel like I'm only getting better a little bit. But if you are using these, I feel like doing a huge dollop at the top really helps. That way when I peel this off, it's like really nice and smooth. Make this even and then grab my plate and press it. Okay, that's pretty leveled. And I like the peace of mind of this because now I know that I can add all the frosting I want to the sides, and this will be like my stopper to make my edges nice and straight. And we have some straight edges. I do notice though I can see some bread right here, and I think to my defense, that's because I hand cut these. They were not straight from a pan. But I'm gonna pop this back in the freezer again and do the same thing for my next 2 tiers. Okay, got a little ahead of myself. I was trying to decide which rods to use for the center. Please, I am so curious. Let me know down below if you bake yourself. Which are your favorite? So we have the wooden ones, and then I also have the smoothie straws, which are low-key my favorite just because of how easy they are to snap with scissors. And then I feel like these are my OG that I used to always use, these way thicker rods. Basically like a smoothie straw, but stronger. So for this cake, I was just like in my zone debating which one to use. Are we going with the smoothie straw? We made it this far. We are ready to stack our cakes. I actually went with the smoothie straws, which considering my cake is in the next couple of hours, it's fine. But for a real wedding cake, like if I needed for this to last for a whole wedding day, I would not be using these because I've heard that they actually bend down a little bit and I would just want something stronger. But for my fake wedding, it will do. Oop. I did that really aggressive. And then go on with the 3rd tier before we add the pearls, the flowers. But you would have never guessed, this is 5 grocery store cakes. Okay, ready and stacked. There's a lot of little gaps at the bottom, so I'm gonna fill it up with some buttercream and then with my spatula, smooth it out. Okay guys, our cakes are stacked. I have actually never really played with smoothing the edges. I normally just pipe a border, but I'm not mad about that considering it's the first time I do that in my career as a baker. I'm like, wait, low-key, I would have been better at it now if I would have done that before. But for this one, I really wanted to incorporate some pearls and just make it really like wedding vibes. So my buttercream is pretty dry to the touch. I'm gonna bring it back to life. We have some water mist right here. And then I have a couple of pearls, these right here. And then I also have them individually sized. Thankfully, I always buy stuff when we're like at the cake store or I'm like doom scrolling on Shein and I see something for cakes. I tend to just buy it because I'm like, one day I'm gonna need it. And I'm just gonna have fun with it. I also have different kind of tweezers right here to help me grab and plot the pearls. Tweezers are fired. Oh, that worked. Okay, pearls are on here and there's probably around 200 on the floor, but we got them going. And now I also wanted to add some flowers. So I really debated if to buy real flowers, but considering this is kind of like an emergency turning a cake vibe, I have these right here, which I love. You guys, I'm gonna link them down below actually, because I'm like, there's no way they actually look like that in person. And when I got them, like, I don't know if you guys can see it through the camera, but these are so legit. Like, I've bought in a lot of fake flowers before, and these are just my top favorite. So now we're gonna plop these on here, and I feel like this is just gonna fully bring the wedding to life. And my wedding cake is done. Guys, I'm really happy with how this came out. I feel like it being the third time I do this whole idea, this might be my favorite just because we went on with the whole 3 tiers, which I did have to end up ordering extra grocery store cakes just because I wanted for it to be tall. So I kind of did the math and we used probably 6 grocery store cakes, but low-key, that wasn't bad. It took us about 5-6 hours to do as well, and I'm happy with it. Like, if tomorrow was my wedding, I wouldn't mind this being my cake. I'm also so curious to know what you guys would quote this cake. So comment down below if you are a baker yourself. How much are we pricing this cake for? So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I had so much fun recreating this idea since it had been years. And let me know if you guys want to see more, oh, kids are home, videos like this. Say bye-bye. And Gael is home. What do you think of this cake? Okay, we finished right on time because my house is about to get chaotic. Mama, ¿te gusta el pastel?
Yeah.
¿A qué sabe? Muérdele, muérdele, muérdele. Okay, thank you guys for watching and we'll see you on my next one. Bye.